Hello everybody, this is Lourdes Jimenez and welcome to this presentation about the dark web. Okay, a little bit of myself. I am an electronic engineer with a master degree in innovation management. I have more than 25 years of experience in telecommunication and IT systems. I have been working in multinational projects, and right now I am the leader of the cybersecurity services at Mobility Global. It is not a secret that nowadays you need technology to run a business. We live in the digital transformation era, in the big data, artificial intelligence, huge computer powers, Internet of Things, connectivity and collaboration is all around our activities. All this innovation come with a cost, a growing surface of vulnerabilities. You need to be prepared. You need to protect yourself and your company against the cyber criminals. We live in the cyberspace. We go to the bank online, we go shopping online, we date online, and we go everywhere through the web browsers like Google Chrome or Explorer. But the web that we normally use is only the 4% of the cyberspace. It's like the tip of the cyber in the graph. Then we have the deep web, where all the databases of the medical record and financial institution are stored. This part is not indexed. We cannot go there with the search engines. And then we have the dark web. And this dark web, we include a small friend-to-friend or peer-to-peer networks. The people can only go to certain places that they know exactly the address. But also there are some browsers like Tor that can browse a big part of the dark web where the suffix onion is used. In this part of the world, there are a lot of illegal activities like drugs, selling, and other type of crimes. The Tor has a special characteristic that is very, very private. It's allowed anonymously. In this new world, we have cryptocurrencies or digital currencies that are a medium to exchange activities. These cryptocurrencies are generated by an algorithm that run in a lot of computers in a decentralized system of computers. It needs a lot of computing power to run. As I mentioned before, to generate the cryptocurrencies, you need a lot of computer to run the program. And this process is called mining. And the miners are the person that has the computer powers or rent the computer powers to the process, and they get fee for this service. For the cryptojacking attacks, the criminals spread a virus like WannaMine that convert computers in corporate networks in bots, and they can run this process of crypto mining to get profit from that. And although the cryptocurrencies prices went down during that last year, crypto attack didn't went down at the same pace. The smartphones are the greatest spying devices ever created. They have access to our location. They can have access to our camera. They can record our audio, our conversations. They can read the call log, and they can read our text messages. The most popular apps for Android and Apple, they ask for permission to get access to these features. And how is the cybersecurity landscape nowadays? As you could imagine, cybersecurity threats are increasing in number and severity. They have access to artificial intelligence. They have a lot of money to finance the development of new viruses and malware. The main concern is about endpoints getting infected with malware through email or web browsing, being email the main vector of the attack. Many organizations are not exercising the proper due diligence on a number of fronts. They don't have the security awareness training, they don't have the data backup processes, and they don't have the planning and the controls in place that they need. They still in denial. They don't have the awareness that they need about cybersecurity. There are a lot of vectors for the cyber attacks. Among them, we have phishing emails as the main one, web navigator, web application, excessive user rights for accounts, untrained users, careless use of passwords, attack on networks, hardware and software not updated, and non-segmented networks. Ransomware is delivered over email via malicious attachments or links, which are used to open and install downloaders called command and control servers and deploy ransomware and encrypt. Email attacks is one of the main vectors. And for only email attack, we have different type of attacks, as much as more than 10. In this presentation, I will explain deceptive phishing, spear phishing, business email One of the type of the emails attacks are deceptive phishing. This is a way for criminals to obtain confidential information. It's a method of social engineering. They send you an email that seems to come from a trusted company, like your bank or Amazon or Walmart, and they normally have a link or an attachment. If you click the link, the virus downloading your computer, or if you open the attachment, also the virus or a shell can be downloaded in your computer, and in that way the criminals take control from your computer and they can get access to your bank account or your social media accounts. Anything can happen from this point. A whopping 91% of cyber attacks begin with a spear phishing email. And a spear phishing email is a more targeted phishing email where the criminals does research on their target, find out who they regularly communicate with, and send a personalized email to make the target click on a link or open an attachment. The business email compromise or SEO fraud. This is an email that seems to come from the account of a person that is in authority in the company. Always is requesting some kind of action like a wire transfer, or is asking for some confidential information, and the one of the main characteristics that is always in a rush is this information is urgent, this transfer is urgent. To prevent spear phishing attacks, you can take some precautions. For example, do not have a list of all the email addresses of your employees on your website. Regularly scan the internet for exposed email addresses and credentials. Never send out sensitive personal information via email. Train your users about the dangers of oversharing their personal information on social media sites. And always remember to think before you click. Also, think before opening any email, especially those requesting some sort of action. Reply with information, click on a link, open an attachment. Use two-factor authentication whenever possible. Use encryption and don't attempt to unsubscribe for emails or services that you never subscribe, because this unsubscribe link could download malware in your computer too. Social engineering is the act to manipulating people to give out confidential information. For example, they can get your login and password and take control of your computer. And think about how disastrous could it be, because they can get into your bank account, make transfer to their account, they can install malicious software, they can get in your social media account and impersonate you. Criminals use social engineering tactics because it's usually easier than hack into your software. In this slide, you have some red flags to identify phishing emails. Nowadays, we work very fast. The cyber war runs at the supersonic speeds, but for the emails, you need to be very careful. You need to examine all the information that comes in the email, from who it comes, if it has hyperlinks, the content may or not. You need to be very careful with the emails. You can be a victim of a cyber attack and you don't know. But sometimes there are some symptoms that can give you a clue that you are a victim. Like the antivirus software detect a problem, the disk space disappear unexpectedly, pop-ups suddenly appear, sometimes selling security software, files or transactions appear that should be not there, the computer slows down to a crawl, unusual messages, sounds, or displays on your monitor. The, also the mouse pointer moves by itself and the computer spontaneously log out or shut down. As I mentioned before, your smartphone has a lot of your personal information. Keep your phone under your constant supervision. Don't let it unattended. Could you imagine what could it happen if your phone get stolen? The criminal will have access to your bank accounts, to your social media accounts. Please enable automatic screen lock and set a short period of time. Ask for a password. Enable two-factor authentication whenever possible. Use random answer to restore security questions. Disable Wi-Fi. Do not connect to open access free Wi-Fi. And of course, don't do any financial transactions in free Wi-Fi in a cafe. Passwords are also very important. They are the first line of defense against the bad guys. Please, never share your password with others. Never keep your password stored in a file on your computer under the name of password. Do not write your password down on a post-it note in your desk. The stronger the password, the less likely it will be cracked. Use a passphrase. For example, use a phrase that makes sense for you, a phrase that you can remember easily, and you take the first letter of every word in that phrase to make up a password. Multi-factor authentication is the easiest way to protect your passwords because you will have your normal login and password, but you will add something you have like a text message or a token or something you are like your fingerprints, your face recognition. Recommendations for everybody. In general, use strong passwords and don't reuse them. Change them frequently. Use multi-factor authentication whenever possible. Don't use free open Wi-Fi. If you need to use them, try to use a VPN or virtual private network connection. Think before you click. Don't click in links or attachments in suspicious emails or websites. Normally, when we think in cybersecurity, we relate it with technology. But the cybersecurity strategy has three dimensions: policies and procedures, technology, and employees. And the three of them are very To start with your cybersecurity strategy, you need to start with an audit. You need to audit your current security infrastructure, your training programs, your security solutions, your policies, your processes. You need to perform an internal and external penetration test to identify what are the defenses, the deficiencies, to prioritize the problem to be fixed. Employees are the weakest link in the cybersecurity system. No matter if you have the best technology to protect your infrastructure from cyber attacks, if you don't train your employees, you could be at risk. In the employee dimension, it's very important to have cybersecurity awareness training in place. Give them the training, evaluate the result, and then do it periodically. Remind them all the policies that you have in place. Do not insert USB drives in the machines. Remind them that the human error is not covered in the cybersecurity insurance. And also, just because it says Bank of America doesn't mean that the email comes from them. Phishing is a very big vector in the cyber attacks, and you need to prepare your employees to be aware and do not click and do not open any attachment in any suspicious email. Policies and procedures are the second dimension in our cybersecurity strategy. We need to have the policies and procedures in place, even to get the cybersecurity insurance. The company that is going to insure us, they will ask for this type of things. Each company has its own policies. Here, there are some examples of the policies that you can have. For example, one policy could be that the user should not open any attachment or clicking links from an unknown source. Also, not using USB drive in office computers. The password management policy, not reusing passwords and don't share passwords and don't write password and keep them in their desk. Completing a specific type of security trainings, the policy on the Wi-Fi access. Also, it should be a special policy for the wire transfer where you should need like a phone confirmation for the transactions, etc. In the procedure, we need to be sure to include the blocking the access to some malicious sites, keeping the software and the hardware up to date, doing regular penetration tests, internal and external, also in Wi-Fi. Also, we have procedures to prevent the CO fraud. Wire transfer authorization is one scenario demanding careful attention. For example, we need to require some kind of confirmation beyond the email. Also, it's very important to have an effective set of backups, restoration, and test Technology is one of the most important dimensions of the cybersecurity strategy. We need to keep our systems up to date. We also need to consider to implement different solutions for different type of vectors to control and to protect our network. For example, we need to consider if we need a data loss prevention system, encryption system. One thing that is very effective and is very affordable is implementing multi-factor authentication, advanced threat protection. We can use virtual web browsers, perform penetration test at least one a year, and every time you make a change to your infrastructure. Nowadays, there are too many challenges because the employees use a lot of cloud applications. They work from the office, but also they work from home using their own devices. The data is shared in a lot of applications, and sometimes the company doesn't know where is the data shared. Also, the accounts could be compromised because of a poor Nowadays, there are some tools to protect you against evolving ransomware. One of them is the Symantec email security ransomware solution that protect you with three broad technologies. Content defense that has file decomposition, deep code analysis, and content disarming. The second is sandboxing, advanced machine learning and network analysis, and link protection. Another tool that we have to reinforce our security posture are data loss prevention systems. Symantec offers one solution that is content aware and can protect the leaking of your data in your cloud, in the network, in the storage, or at the endpoints. You can also use web isolation to avoid get the ransomware through the web browsing. In summary, you need a layer of protection per each vulnerability vector. That means one for phishing, other for web navigator, other for web application, and etc. In Mobility Global, we can help your business to conduct a risk assessment, cybersecurity policies, incident response procedures, perform penetration tests. Also, we represent the best product to protect your devices, your network, and your data. Thank you so much.